Okay, final topic for today. We're getting into topic of the show territory, Cayman. We're
This is
here.
the only topic I know. This is the only thing I actually knew
Correct.
about.
Correct. A couple weeks ago, we had friend of the show, Jordan, aka Cognitive Clips, on to talk about the nominations for the Game Awards. But now I want to talk about what we think might be announced and revealed. For those of us that have been following along with the Game Awards the last 10 years, one thing that we always know to expect from Jeff Keighley's Game Awards is that we're going to get a lot of video game trailers and announcements. The show usually is like 3 hours long, and like 45 of those minutes are just the awards, and then the rest is either commercials or game trailers and announcements. So it is unique in the kind of art space in that, in terms of award shows, this is the only one that spends more time celebrating the future of gaming than it does celebrating what just happened in gaming, which I think is so fascinating. But because of that, there's so much that can come and that can be announced. And it seems like every year it just gets bigger and bigger. I forget the number, but it was like 80 something million were watching live last year. So like, crazy. I feel like gloves are off. Like anything can happen moving forward at the Game Awards. When you have that many people watching, anything can happen. So I went to our audience on Instagram. I said, what do you think is going to be announced? What are your predictions? So I have a few of theirs, and we're also going to share our predictions. So Cayman, let's just jump in, go back and forth until we feel like we've made enough predictions. What's your first prediction of what we could expect to see at the Game Awards?
First prediction is we will get the official world premiere trailer for Grand Theft Auto 6.
I'm so interested to see if this happens. It was on my list as well as something that I might have predicted, but I figured one of us is certainly going to predict this. Because Rockstar has gone on record to say that they are showing a trailer in early December. And Cayman, when is the Game Awards? Early December. I also think this is going to happen, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Rockstar is like, we're big enough that we don't even need you.
So
but everyone's going to be watching. So yeah, go ahead.
So that was my thing, was I thought the same thing, where I was like, Rockstar doesn't need to do this at all. Rockstar doesn't like need that extra push. But I could also see them releasing a trailer and then being like, having a second trailer being shown for Grand Theft Auto during the Game Awards too. Like two separate trailers. I want to go with like the world premiere because I think that's spicier, more fun.
Yeah.
And honestly, Rockstar might just do it just to fucking do it. I mean, I'm assuming to a certain degree they're not like, are they paying Jeff Keighley to be like, show this?
I think you do pay to show your game at the Game Awards. But
I mean, it makes sense.
Rockstar, I'm sure if Rockstar is showing their game at the Game Awards, I bet they are getting paid because they're that big.
Yeah, so who knows? I mean, I guess it depends on what the deal is there. Like, there's definitely sponsors and shit like that, and there's probably some people that are paying to have their shit being shown. But I do feel like some of this stuff, like, there's probably deals in place that's like no money. And if you want to get it, instead of just announcing it on Twitter, then you want to get this in front of 180 to 100 million people.
For sure,
it's a great way to do it. Great way to do it.
Yeah, no, I really hope that, because that would, especially if that's like the last thing of the night, that would tear the night down for sure.
Yeah.
If we got the GTA 6 announcement trailer. Pulling in one from the audience, Evan Brando, friend of the show, he's been on here multiple times, says, I opened my third eye and it's telling me Banjo game. We're getting a new Banjo-Kazooie.
Okay.
Which,
that's a bold prediction.
That's a bold prediction. People have been wondering if Banjo is coming back now that Xbox is a lot more active, bringing kind of like older shit to the forefront. Might happen. Well, I guess there's only one way to find out, and that's to tune in next week to the Game Awards. Cam, my first prediction. This is one that I think I don't think this is a slam dunk by any means. And the reason I don't think it's a slam dunk is because this studio is going to be saying a lot that night, because they're going to be winning a lot of awards. But I can't help but wonder if Baldur's Gate 3 is going to announce the date that they're coming to Xbox.
Interesting. See, I have a different BG3 prediction that's not that one. But
okay.
I think that we could probably tag team both of our predictions together.
Let's get it. Let's tag team it.
So you're going with the Xbox, which I think is a smart move. I'm going with BG3 announces story DLC.
Ooh, okay.
And I think they could do both at the same time. That'd be fantastic to be like,
Sure.
blah, 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 blah. Here's the story DLC. It's going to be coming March of 2024. But don't worry, because we're going to be bringing just in time for that. We're going to be bringing in January to the Xbox. And like, I think that would be like, that's a perfect like way. I think they could do both at the same time. And I definitely think BG3 has like room to throw in some DLC. Like, I think,
I think so too.
yeah, I think there's like limitless space and possibility to continue that game's path of growth.
Yeah, and I there have been a lot of people online that I've been seeing being like, I bet when they announce it, it's day and date, like, and it's out today. I don't think that's going to be the case. I
No,
think Baldur's
absolutely
Gate 3
not.
is so big,
Yeah.
and it's going to move so many copies that they want everyone to know when it's finally coming to Xbox. It's not going to be a surprise.
The only thing I can think is that potentially Xbox brings it to Game Pass, but you have to think for them to do that, Xbox is going to have to come up with a shit ton of cash because
For sure.
Larian Studios has proved that like, hey, we can sell without Game Pass. We don't need it. So fork out the money.
Yeah.
Honestly, I kind of hope that they do. Like, I kind of hope it does come to Game Pass because, like, then that gives like just essentially like a safety net for Larian.
Yeah.
Because I think we just hope they keep making more games. They're fucking amazing.
Oh, for sure. I wouldn't be surprised if it landed on Game Pass, especially because there was the scuttlebutt of it not coming out originally on Xbox. Like
Yeah.
I could see that being an olive branch from old Spencer. But yeah, we'll see. My next one, since you shared your second, I'm gonna say a lot of these, as I read them right now, I'm like, I don't think many of these are gonna come true, but I'm hoping and I'm praying. And something that I really, really hope we see at the Game Awards is the announcement of whatever Blue Point is working on. I really hope we get a trailer of their new game.
Oh yeah.
That's my second prediction is that because that's one of those things where it's like, I bet it's a safer bet to say whatever the next PlayStation showcase is.
Yeah.
PlayStation would show something like a Blue Point game, but I'm dreaming. I'm hoping.
I love it, honestly. Okay, so I'm gonna throw a curveball here.
Okay, curve it.
We already know Death Stranding 2 is gonna have, or Hideo Kojima is gonna have something going on at the Game Awards.
Whether it's a podcast or something else.
Death Stranding 2 is not going to be the title. It is going to have a completely different title.
Interesting. So we're getting a Death Stranding 2 trailer, and it will reveal a new title.
It is going to be a brand new title. I feel like Death Stranding 2 is just a working title. I think he's so emblazoned at this point, or emboldened at this point, that no, it won't be a Metal Gear Solid 5. You know, it'll be a fucking weird name that makes no sense. And
that's interesting. Because I feel like Death Stranding probably doesn't have a ton of cachet in terms of like name recognition. I'm gonna tag on to that.
Ooh,
and throw out my third one and say that we're gonna get a date. Kojima's gonna tell us when Death Stranding 2 is coming.
I think that's solid. That's solid.
Let's bring in one from the audience.
Please.
This one, I'm going to bring in two because this one isn't actually a prediction, but it did make me laugh. And it did I wanted to bring up something else too. So Kayla, friend of the show from JK Games, says, who's going to come up on stage and troll this year? Which I said, hopefully nobody. But then we also got an official announcement from Jeff Keighley that they have upped their security for this year's Game Awards. So if someone gets on stage, he's in deep trouble.
Yeah.
But another actual prediction from Jordan, aka Cognitive Clips, who might still be in the chat. His hopium prediction is Metroid Prime 4. Jordan, not fucking happening.
Not gonna.
His realistic prediction, which I do think is going to happen, Elden Ring trailer DLC, Elden Ring DLC trailer with a date. He added on.
That's actually, that was my prediction number 5 was Shadow of the Erdtree will get an expanded trailer as well as a release date. So I'm right there with you, Jordan. I agree. What implicitly that is there's no world in which we don't get that at the Game Awards. I think that's the safest guess.
For sure. Okay, my next one. Oh wait, no, actually, that was one you were gonna say.
That was on my list.
Yeah, what's your
Jordan
next one?
stole it from me. My next one is we're gonna get an Outer Worlds 2 trailer.
Interesting. So Outer Worlds, the what's the company that Bethesda owns
Oh
that
fuck.
did Outer Worlds? But
Yes.
that not Wilds,
That,
right?
not
Not
Wilds, no.
got it.
Outer Worlds. We know that they're working on the game. It was a release, or we know they said something. I'm trying to remember what it was exactly, but we know that the game's been worked on as early as 2021. I don't
Okay.
think we're going to get a release date or anything like that. I think we're going to get a mood trailer, if anything. But I think we're going to get some sort of announcement, and it'll be probably a brief little teaser. But Outer Worlds 2 is on the
Okay.
horizon. Who the fuck is that developer?
Um they made Fallout New Vegas.
They did.
They're called Obsidian. That's right.
They're called
Obsidian.
there. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna go. I feel like I've kind of done a couple pie in the sky, but I'm going pie in the fucking sky, Cayman. The long whispered, I don't know if it's actually been whispered about, but it has in my brain. The long whispered about sequel to The Order 1886 is revealed. And it's being developed by Bend Studio.
I would lose my absolute fucking mind in the best way possible if that happened.
I can guarantee it won't, but what if it does?
I would name my firstborn child Swaggy.
What if even if I'm wrong about the studio, what if we're just getting an 1886 sequel?
Here's the thing. I got one of the coolest things I got. I actually got the special edition collector's edition of the Order 1886, and it comes with the statue of Lancelot. It is one of the coolest statues from what is the company that does it? Sideshow. It's a Sideshow. And honestly, I don't think anyone would even I don't think I could post this on eBay and sell it for $5. But it is the most detailed, most beautiful statue I have in my on my weird nerd collectibles.
Hell yeah.
And someone in the chat, look up and see how much the Order 1886 Sir Lancelot or Sir Galahad, whatever the main characters, whatever that statue of him leaned up against the wall, how much that costs now on the aftermarket.
Cut to the chat. It's worth $7.
$7. I wouldn't literally would not be shocked.
It's a joke. Yeah.
I would.
Okay,
die,
so that would be amazing. Let's bring in one more from the chat, and then let's hit it over to you, Cayman. Liz, friend of the show, Mouth of the South, Liz McLean, 2014. Follow her on Twitch. They're making a DBD movie, which is a dumb fucking idea, she says. So I'm wondering if they're going to say anything about that, or really any game to movie adaptation starring Chris Pratt. Look, it's Chris Pratt's world, and we're just living in it. But I would be interested to see a DBD movie trailer. I wonder if it's a little too early for that. But because I'm assuming Five Nights at Freddy's, same people. Do we know?
I don't know who's doing the DBD movie. I know Blumhouse did Five Nights at Freddy, and they're already announced they're making, I think, 2 or 3 more of them.
Gotcha.
Because of how successful it was.
Okay.
Hold on. Dead by Daylight movie release date. That was a June 14th. Nope, that's not right. Blumhouse, yeah. Blumhouse is doing an Atomic Monster. Is going to be doing that. I don't know if there's any. James Wan, I think, might be set to direct. So that's interesting. And exciting stuff. I don't think there's any other information surrounding this. So yeah, who fucking knows?
Who fucking knows? So my next one came in. Or wait, no, it's your turn. It's your turn.
All right, my next is
my mind was pie in the fucking sky.
We're going to get an official Silent Hill remake trailer with a release date.
Okay,
it's coming, and it's probably going to come February.
Okay, Silent Hill 2 remake gets a date and trailer February.
Yeah, I'm just you can deduct points if you want to on February. I just got this I just think it's coming soon. And it's going to be a dump month. I think it's going to be but then again, video games lately, there is no dump month anymore. Used to be. But now some of the biggest games fucking Elden Ring came out in February? Yeah, so there's no dump month anymore. And I think February is a perfect drop for them. Start the season off hot. Maybe March, but even March seems a little too out for me. I don't know. I'm sticking with February. I like it.
Cayman, do you want me to go a little safer, or should I stick to the skies right now?
I want you to go safe for a second
Okay.
because I'm going to start. My wild picks are about to start coming.
Okay, great. So a safe one. It's a game that's been at the show before, and I would expect that it's a game that's going to be at the show again.
Mm-hmm.
Ubisoft's Skull and Bones finally gets a release date. And my little additional thing is that it's also coming in February.
I like that.
What I'm not saying is that it's also going to be delayed again. That's not part of the prediction because we can't know that.
I don't know if it will, man. I think they're at a point now. They've delayed it so many times, like they're gonna have to just get it out, right? Shit,
I honestly would think so.
Honestly, wouldn't even be shocked if they just straight up fucking cancel it.
They come on stage to say no more games.
Yeah, like no more delays. No more. This has the consistent. Yves Guillemot comes on stage and he goes, "I'm not gonna do a French accent because I don't know if I can." But he comes on stage.
I do have a pretty good Yves impression.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Well, how do I do this? Okay, so he comes on stage, Patrick, and he's like, "Everyone, I want you to get so excited because there's no more delays for Skull and Bones." The crowd goes wild, and he's like, "You will never get your hands on it. We are officially canceling Skull and Bones." The crowd goes ape shit. They're so happy. They're so happy. The crowd is so happy.
Because wasn't it the Game Awards where they brought out these like little shanty singers to sing us a song while they showed us like video of the game, but like no one said anything. They just sang and showed us video with no like VO. I'm pretty sure that was the Game Awards.
I really hope that did happen because that sounds amazing.
Yeah. If it wasn't the Game Awards, it was a press conference. Maybe it was just the Ubisoft press conference from like what used to be called E3, but hilarious.
What used to be called E3. Fair.
Okay, last one from the audience. Nick, aka Sweetskeet. I'd like some Dragon Quest 12 news. He said.
Oh, baby, you're telling me, dude.
I mean, I would too, but I don't know that we're gonna get in it. But this is a safe space where we're making all sorts of guesses. So
I mean, I love it. What's I guess it's me now.
We're back to you.
Okay, I got 4 more. I believe we're gonna get a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin mood trailer. We know the game exists. We know it's in production. I think right now would be a perfect time at the Game Awards to just come out. That we had the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie this year. Shredder's Revenge was really big. I think it's I think that this is the best place to get people like, oh, okay, like peaked up a little bit. I don't think it's gonna be gameplay. I don't think it's gonna be anything other than
just a little
like you're gonna see like Raphael just kind of like walk out of the shadows, and it's gonna be really dark and edgy, and then that's gonna be it.
Hell yeah. I'm all about that. Also, Jordan in the chat, I think Skull and Bones is even less likely than Metroid Prime 4 dog. I disagree. Because here's my thinking on why I disagree with that is Skull and Bones has been in the media so many times that people like don't care anymore / take it seriously. But if 80 million people are watching and you finally say Skull and Bones is coming out in February, that now 80 million people actually know that they might want to play this game. Even if you get 1% of those people, then they're going to count it as a win because this is a game I'm sure has cost them so much money that they will never get back. But that's my thinking there. But hey, I could be wrong. I could be a fucking idiot.
Was this 11 years in the making?
It feels like it.
I think it was like officially went into production, or it was like whatever it was. It was started production in 2013.
Wow, fucking.
And it was first announced in 2018.
That's insane to me, but I believe it. Okay, next one for me. I'm gonna go a little on the safe side again, but then I got some buck wild ones too. I think we are going to get another trailer 1 year removed from the original trailer, but this one's gonna have a release date for Hades 2.
Okay. Do you know what? That honestly, I think that lines up. Because
they've already said that it's going to follow the same release strategy as the first one, that there's going to be like an early access period. So I guess maybe I should clarify. They'll announce when the early access period is specifically, because I think they've just said it's like a window of time that I don't remember off the top of my head what it is. But that's my guess, I think. Okay. What about you, Cayman?
My next is going to be Hellblade 2 gets a release date.
Okay, a release date.
Gets a release date.
Hellblade 2: Senua's Saga
Mm.
gets a release date.
Mhm.
I believe that.
That's my last safe bet pick.
Last safe bet, okay? Because I feel like that's a game that it's been a minute since we heard from. Other than I think they've said it's coming next year, but there's no date still. So I like that. I like that a lot. Let's see if are any of these safe for my last safe one. Yeah, I'll say this one because this is one that there's been some rumors that this has been in the works. So this is a bit of a safe one. But in a way, like the part that's not safe is like this game came out so long ago, it'd be kind of weird to release something so much later.
Yeah.
Excuse me, but there have been some rumors about God of War Ragnarok DLC being announced at the Game Awards. So I'm gonna put my pin in that one and try to take credit for that rumor.
Well, I like that rumor, and I hope it comes true.
Thank you. I would like to go back into that world again.
Yeah, and I think that would give me the impetus to get back in and try to platinum it.
What do you think some DLC would look like? Do you think it'd be like from the perspective of like a Thrud, or do you think it'd be Kratos doing another fun little jaunt somewhere?
That's a good question. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of it being maybe not a true DLC, but like a Lost Legacies type of DLC where you get to play as like Atreus.
Yeah.
And like a 12 to 15 hour long, like a 12-hour long, I think would be a good length.
For sure.
A little like side saga of him, like
that'd be cool.
His first adventures by himself, I think would be kind of cool.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
All right, let's get into the buck wildness of it all.
All right, I got two more.
Okay.
Buck wild. The first one, Wolfenstein 3.
Ooh, 3.
Wolfenstein 3. This will not be a Wolfenstein picking up from the daughters. This is going to be because the last game, so they had Wolfenstein, then they had, was it Wolfenstein New Order, and then it was Wolfenstein, or maybe it was Wolfenstein
Youngbloods or something like that.
Youngbloods was the last one that came out, and it followed BJ Blazkowicz's two daughters.
Right. There was the Old Blood, and then I think Youngbloods.
Old Blood was the DLC.
That was it. Okay.
Yeah. What was there were two games. There was there was Wolfenstein, and there was Wolfenstein 2 something.
Wolfenstein 2 something game.
Yeah. What was the? I got my BJ Blazkowicz.
New Colossus.
New Colossus. I actually have a GI Joe. It was part of the collector's edition. It comes like a GI Joe of BJ Blazkowicz. It's great. No, I think we're gonna get an actual like Wolfenstein 3, like a 3.
Okay.
It is gonna be. Whatever they do, they will be picking up Wolfenstein again, but you will be in the shoes of BJ Blazkowicz.
I wonder, and the reason that, listening, you might wonder, well, we've already had 2, then why is that Buckwild? Well, because the people that made that are making Indiana Jones. So, like, who would be making this game?
I have no clue,
would then
man.
be the question. Right, but that's what makes it Buckwild.
Yeah.
And I'm all about it.
Well, yeah, and here's the thing, too. Think about it, is that Insomniac is also making a Wolverine game.
True.
Then there's enough there. I don't know who's going to be making it, but Xbox has it, and I think Xbox really coming off the heels of Starfield.
Okay.
Like Xbox really needs some excitement again because what else does Xbox have right now to get excited about now that Starfield's out?
For sure. Yeah, no, I mean that's a good point. And like other than like Senua's Saga,
but like that's a very niche game for a very particular audience
at a big level, right? There's not a lot.
Yeah, they need like one of these IP, like one of these tentpole IP games, and we're not getting another Doom. I can tell you that we're not getting another Doom for a while, just because the last Doom just came out, and I think they just released a few months ago the last DLC for the Doom Eternal. So like, no, the only thing that I can think of right now would be like tentpole, even if it's just one of those things where they did like Elder Scrolls or the Elder Scrolls 6, where they were like, this game's never coming out, but we're gonna get you excited about it. Like that's, I think.
What if they showed a new Elder Scrolls 6 trailer?
Nah, dude, they got to do something, man. They got to do something.
Well, here's something.
Yeah.
And it might confuse people at first, but it's gonna start with an Xbox splash screen, Cayman.
Okay.
Go along this ride with me for this reveal.
Yeah.
We see Xbox logo first. So the people that are watching are going to think, oh, wow, new Xbox exclusive. It's not going to be an Xbox exclusive, but Xbox paid to reveal this game, which is a normal practice for these kinds of things. We're in a city, Cayman. We're in an industrialized city. We're going, maybe we're watching some small little feet run. We're just like seeing like ankle down, running down the street. There's like some water splashing. We're thinking, wow, these graphics are amazing, Cayman. We're hearing some like kind of folksy music in the background, Cayman. And we're like, ooh, this is a fun little vibe. What could this be, Cayman? And we hear some gunfire. We hear some like, ooh, is that like fire or maybe like electricity or something? And then we pan up the camera and we see a Big Daddy new BioShock game.
Okay. We are due for BioShock 4.
We are so due for a BioShock game that I feel like there were some rumors last year that maybe we'll finally see BioShock, but then we ended up just seeing Ken Levine's new game, who's the name I can't remember off the top of my head. Judas, maybe.
I think that sounds right.
But there's a movie in the works, and I feel like BioShock has been gone for so long that it's bound to come back, and I think now's the time. And I think that is another game that I feel like Keighley would be like, I will pay you to let me reveal BioShock, because that's a game that would break gaming Twitter for sure.
Yeah. My last prediction, Patrick, would also break gaming Twitter.
Let's go.
Splash screen doesn't have one because there's no need, because this is not a first party IP. But what there is going to be is one of the most earworm pop jazz inspired, just big electric guitar. You're going to have a female vocalist just come in and just lay down some of the most hype music. You're going to be just jazz dance. You're going to be moving in your seat. You're going to be grooving. It's going to have, and then you're like, all of a sudden, bam, wham, thank you, ma'am. It's crazy. What is this awesome art style that's like half anime, but also not really? Hold on a second. Is that, are we in Tokyo? Is this Persona 6?
Yes!
Motherfucker, it is Persona 6. That's it. We are due for Persona 6. And I think because Atlas has been making such big waves lately with being like, we're more Western friendly than it seems, by opening up all their shit to everyone else and coming to Xbox and stuff like that. I think that they would 100% announce. Now, I don't think this game is going to come out for another couple of years. But I definitely think this announcement coming, because you got to think like P5 Royal was 2020.
I think
when it came out, it was during the pandemic. 3 years after that, I think
we have there's another Atlas game in the works, something ReFantazio or something. But that's not the main Persona team building that game, I don't believe.
No,
I could be wrong about that.
And they've got Persona 5 Tactics that's coming out this year. I think this year still. And that's not the same Persona team. Yeah, and then I was looking and was doing some research on this, and apparently there's been rumors with some pretty solid reporting and leaks coming out from some reputable sources that are saying that Persona 6 is in the works right now and is like pretty far along in development. So I'm feeling it.
I like it. My last prediction, and then which, by the way, love your pick, because I also had Persona 6 announced as one of my predictions that I
sorry, I
didn't get
stole
to.
it from you.
No, that's okay. I'm going to end with what I think is probably the most unlikely to happen prediction, but this also would break gaming Twitter. Cayman, let me paint the scene,
please.
We start with a black screen for a bit. No studio revealed yet, because that would give away what we're about to get to. But we just hear some music, maybe like maybe let's say it's like a mandolin. We're somewhere in the East.
Okay.
Cayman, and we hear the hubbub of a city. We hear just all sorts of voices happening, and we hear the voice of a woman come in, and she's having like some fun banter with let's say she's talking to like a store owner. They're doing some bartering. Maybe they're speaking in Mandarin. Who knows? I can only see so much. The vision is foggy, Cayman. But there's something familiar about this voice that we hear, Cayman, and this music. It's kind of building a little bit, and then we hear kind of there's a break in all sound. There's just silence, and then what do we hear? Uncharted hits the
No.
screen. New Uncharted game, not being made by Naughty Dog. New protagonist.
Okay.
That's not Nathan Drake. It's a woman that we're in the shoes of. Maybe they don't say who it is, so I'll save who it is for, if you haven't played Uncharted 4. I don't want to necessarily spoil the game, but I think new protagonist, new studio, new locale, new Uncharted game. Maybe Sully's there. Who knows? I don't know. The vision is only so clear.
Vision's only so clear. I feel
but Uncharted happening. Take that to the bank, Cayman.
I love it.
Certainly not happening.
No, not happening.
Terry in the chat, it'd be interesting to see how that would work. I'd be excited about more Uncharted. I would too. I would also like. I feel like, because recently, so what we talked about last week, Naughty Dog revealed Last of Us Part 2 remastered. And then since then, Neil Druckmann has been on record being like, I'm not commenting on any other games but we are working on things that aren't The Last of Us. And they years ago said like they're done with Uncharted. So I just don't think that a new thing would be an Uncharted game. And I would be willing to bet, because the Last of Us multiplayer game was recently kind of put on ice a little bit. I doubt we would see Naughty Dog announce anything, since they just announced remastered last week.
So allegedly, I saw there was a rumor that Sony Santa Monica and Naughty Dog are both working on new IP sci-fi games.
Interesting.
So
I would believe it. Like I feel like neither of them have done that in such a long time, if ever. That like I could see them having earned the right to do whatever the fuck they want in whatever genre that they want to be in. Yeah, that's very interesting. Some other things that go ahead.
Oh no, please.
I was just gonna say some other things that I percolated on that are unofficial predictions came in. Things that we didn't ever get to. Spider-Man 2 DLC, perhaps.
Yeah, that was something I was thinking about.
And then Hollow Knight Silksong revealed. Not gonna happen. NCAA football gets a trailer.
That actually could happen. The expectation is that's going to drop summer of 2024. So yeah, that could very well happen.
Something, the last one, as an honorable mention that I really, really hope happens, but I doubt it will, because Nintendo absolutely marches to the beat of their own drum. Where's Wind Waker?
Yeah,
I don't think it's a Game Awards announcement. That I feel like if they were going to announce anything at the Game Awards, it would be something like a Mario.
See, that's why I've like held off on like predicting really anything Sony related, because I don't think Sony is going to use the Game Awards to announce anything, but I think Xbox does.
Sure,
I think Xbox utilizes the Game Awards to try to drum up excitement about next year for them, because they, like I said before, I don't really think they have a lot to be excited about for what their next year looks like, at least from what we know. With that being said, though, I think some sleeper things that could pop up. We could see another Tomb Raider. I definitely think that there is a world in which like a Tomb Raider reboot pops up. I think that's something. I think there's always a chance that we could see something coming out of the Star Wars universe. Yeah, definitely not anything related to like Star Wars Jedi Survivor, but like we could see something related to a new Star Wars IP.
I bet we see something Star Wars, maybe like Outlaws from Ubisoft, perhaps.
Maybe. And if I'm going like real curveball, Ultimate Alliance 4.
Whoa, that would be awesome. I would love to see another Ultimate Alliance.
Just please don't put it on the Switch, like, exclusive on the Switch again. Please don't do that. Like, don't do that.
Wow, I forgot that happened, and I played that game.
Yeah,
I was like,
don't.
man, we haven't had an Ultimate Alliance game since Ultimate Alliance 2. Not true. I
Like, don't.
played the third one.
Yeah, just don't. Like, they really fucked up by doing that.
Yeah, I agree.
Why would you
I agree.
just release it on the Switch? It didn't make sense, and it honestly didn't feel good on the Switch.
It didn't. I wanted so desperately to like that game, and I just
Yeah,
didn't.
same.
I didn't.
Ugh.
But let us know what we missed. What's going to be announced at the Game Awards that we didn't say. What do you want to see? Which of our predictions do you hope come true? Honestly, I hope we bat 1,000. Every single one of those things come true. It turns out this isn't a prediction. We just got access to the run of show, and we just went through it together live on Spotlight Games. But Cayman, that's our show. I do want to quickly mention, we've not gone by the update calendar, the 2023 calendar in a while. 3 very quick hits for you guys if you're interested. F099 getting a new mode. This might speak to you, Cayman. A classic race mode coming the day this releases, so it's going to feel more like F-Zero Classic. 20 participants, not the battle royale type game. Also, for you PC nerds, Assassin's Creed Syndicate free on Ubisoft right now until December 6th. So if that's a game you never played and you want to play it for free, download Ubisoft's launcher and it's free right now. And then finally, Jet Force Gemini, a game from like 1997 or something, coming to N64 online next month on your Switch. So check that out if you're interested. Cayman.
Yes, sir.
What a great show. This goes to show you we don't really need any sort of prep, and we're going to put on a great product.
We just I feel like we've just been doing this shit for long enough that like
sure.
This is what our normal like just how the sausage is made. This is how our normal conversations via text message go. That's literally true. All day long.
All day long. Like yes, that's true. We don't have jobs. Cayman, thanks for being here as you always are. Where can folks at home follow you on the internet if they would like to see more of your bullshit?
Yeah, you can follow me at the Dumpster Boy on Twitter, and if you haven't caught up yet on our backlog of STC, you can follow that Save Trash Cinema. It's Save Trash Cinema on all socials. Like I said last week, it's just taken a little bit longer than expected with everything to get it back up and running. But if my wife has her way, then we'll have 15 episodes out by the end of the year. So
hell yeah,
yeah, just keep your eyes posted on that. But you can see all of the dumb shit that I say on that. Yeah, over there too.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. You can follow me on Twitter, Patrick Schwag. You can follow the pod on Twitter at SpotGamesPod or on Instagram, TikTok, all the other places, including YouTube and Twitch at Spotlight Games Pod. So be sure to follow us there. We'd love it if you would support the show. Tell your friends about it. Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Terry, for being here in the chat. Great show to you as well. We'll be here next week talking about who the fuck knows. But until then, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.